Go through some stuff, and we'll see how it works out for him. And if he can't work, then Carson will take those reps that Pat doesn't. So we have full confidence in Carson. If he has to step in and play, then I think everybody, coaches and players, have full confidence that he can go in and do a nice job. Look forward to the challenge of playing the Texans. We know they're a heck of a football team, and they're working on that whole playoff thing. And D'Amico's done a nice job with that team, along with his coordinators. They likewise have put together a real strong offense and defense. Special teams, one of the top in the league. So, very well-rounded football team. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Coach, do you have a hard and fast rule on, you got to practice this much to be able to play that you kind of set out there so it's not, you're not leaning one way on what you want it to be at the time?
Yeah, I think this one's a little bit more day-to-day. Let's just see what he does, how he does, feels. He's always honest with me, so he's going to shoot me straight on it, and I'll be able to see him. Today's a lighter day, so we can get him in there and moving around a little bit. So.
And to that point about he'll always be honest with you. Obviously, he also wants to play. How do you break down that conversation to try to really get at where he is?
Yeah, he'll talk to me. The doctors will talk to me. Trainers, keep it open. Once you're out of the game, he'll shoot you pretty straight there. So during the game, his juices are going.
Andy, obviously it's 3 games in 11 days. You've got 1 game 4 days later. How, if at all, would that factor in your decision to play Patrick on Saturday?
Yeah, listen, if he can go, he'll go. If he can't, then he can't. I mean, keep it that simple. We're not, that's how we'll roll with it. So, and then I'll just take it day by day and see how he does here.
But at this point, there is a chance that he can go. He's not being ruled out.
Yeah, there's a chance. Yeah, we'll see.
Coach, does it factor in? I mean, you're in a position now where that 2 wins and you get the number 1 spot. Does that affect your judgment at all?
No, not necessarily. I mean, the games count. So it's a game in the NFL, and it counts. And if your guys can play, they play. As long as it's medically, if they're fine, they go.
What have you learned about Carson in your time here with him? What do you like about him if he has to play a lot for you?
Yeah, well, he's started in the league and been successful. He's got a great feel for this offense. Very smart, big arm. I like the way he carries himself. I like everything about him. He should be starting in this league somewhere, So he's a heck of a player.
Andy, what's the plan this week for Hollywood and for Chenal?
Yeah, so again, just seeing them, how they're doing it every day here. Stevie will probably need a little bit more time than maybe what Hollywood will need. But just let's take it day by day with those guys and see where this thing goes. We've released Clyde, so we have a spot available. We've got these injuries that we're juggling here, so we just got to see how that goes before we move somebody up or down or whatever each wants to do with that thing. But we sure appreciated Clyde too for all he did here. Love to get him back sometime too. So what a great kid he is.
Andy, you mentioned this last time we talked to you on Friday was Hollywood just practiced. How did he come out of that as far as what you saw?
He felt good. He felt good. Moved around well. Took quite a few reps. It wasn't a leg injury, so he's been working his legs. He's one of those real good endurance guys anyways, but he's been working his legs throughout here. It's just a matter of this whole thing and how it feels when he's going. But the doctors have really said it's healed up nice and looks good. So we'll just see. I'm going to do just like you are. I'm going to play it by ear and see how we do here. And if he can go, he'll play. If he can't, then he won't.
Andy, he's been through, Patrick specifically, has been through obviously multiple ankle injuries. I know you would not want your quarterback to get hurt, but the sport is violent. Is there experience that you could use based on him playing through these injuries multiple times that can either help with the game plan or just give you better trust in how he's going to play if his mobility is obviously limited?
Yeah, so you don't want it so limited that he can't get out of the way of things. I mean, he's but again, he knows he's had enough of these where he knows kind of where he's at, and he's able to communicate that. So I listen to it, and our docs check him. Rick, he was living with Rick and his crew yesterday, so and he'll do the same today. I mean, that's how he rolls. You know, he likes to play. So I mean, but he's honest with it too.
Coach, in your study, how did you feel like Joe Chenal did out at left tackle? And Humphreys is out of the mix. Is that will you stick with too?
Yeah, I'm weighing that, but I thought he did a nice job to answer your question, your original question there. The guy he was going against is one of the best in the league, and he held his own. He had a few where he got caught off balance, but I thought he battled his tail off and really, for just throwing him out there, did a nice job. This guy, when you think about this now, he's played every position and done well, and a pretty amazing guy that way.
We're going to ask you syringe, Jeremy, and then what syringe?
Coach, I know you like to, you're going to design a game plan for the skill sets of the guys you have, and Carson and Pat are going to be a little bit different, and then you like to talk to them and what do they like. Does it put more stress on you and Matt and the staff to kind of maybe have two game plans, when you're here not knowing?
Yes, I'll tell you, one of the things, those two guys are very similar in what they like, which helps. I mean, that helps. So you can feed them both kind of the same thing, and they're good with it. There's no more stress than you normally have. It's not a stressful deal. I'm not trying to meet deadlines. So.
And Andy, with your offensive experience, how do you try to help a quarterback, like in Carson's case, who's had success and then now has to sort of reset their career as a backup and try to get their footing again? Yeah,
well, I love the way he goes about his business, and when you listen to the court, when you listen to Pat, you go, well, why isn't this guy starting somewhere? That's the conversations you hear with guys that are in that room and coaches and players, and so. I'm hoping that he gets to keep going. Selfishly, I'd like to keep him here, in his position. But I kind of know what's going on out there with quarterbacks, and this guy is, I think, really good. So.
I think Sam's got his already, so we're good.
Okay, good.
Hey there, my friend. Let's talk about something that's been on my mind lately. You've probably noticed how great the Chiefs' defense has been this season, right? But there's something a bit puzzling. There's this one player, Leo Chenal, who's been absolutely crushing it in his limited time on the field. Yet, for some reason, the coaching staff isn't giving him the snaps he deserves. Weird, right? Just think about it, this guy forced a fumble and had 4 tackles in our recent win against the Browns. And get this, he only played 12 defensive snaps. That's just 19% of the game. Insane, huh? Let me ask you, do you think Leo Chenal should be getting more opportunities? Drop your thoughts in the comments, or better yet, let's do a quick poll. Should Chenal get more snaps? Yes or no? Now, let's dive deeper into his stats and see just how much of an impact he's making. Alright, let's break it down. Leo Chenal might just be one of the most efficient players on the Chiefs roster right now. Against the Browns, like we mentioned, he had 4 tackles and forced a fumble, all in just 12 snaps. Think about that for a second. How many players in the league can make that kind of impact in so little time? And this isn't just a one-time thing. Remember the game against the Broncos earlier this season. The guy blocked what could have been the game-winning field goal. Seriously, how clutch is that? Chenal doesn't just show up. He delivers in the biggest moments. Here's a stat for you. Chenal has only played 41% of the defensive snaps this season, the same percentage he played last year. Yet, he's consistently making big plays, whether it's on defense or special teams. That's some next-level hustle, wouldn't you agree? So, why isn't he seeing more action? Is it about trust, a deeper strategy, or maybe something else entirely? Let me know what you think in the comments. By the way, if you had to grade Leo Chenal's performance this season, what would you give him, a B or C? Cast your vote. Up next, let's talk about the coaching staff's decision-making and what might be holding Chenal back. Alright, let's talk about the decision-makers. We all know Andy Reid and Steve Spongewallow are some of the best in the business. Spags has built a defense that's been rock solid this season, and Reid is, well, Andy Reid. But here's the thing, when it comes to Leo Chenal, it's hard not to scratch your head a bit. Nick Bolton and Drew Tranquill totally deserve their starting spots. They've been key pieces of this defense, but here's the kicker. When Willie Gay Jr. was around, Spags didn't hesitate to rotate 3 linebackers. Why not do the same now? It feels like they're sticking too much to the script, doesn't it? Here's a question for you. Do you think this is about strategy, or could it just be an oversight? Drop your theories below, I'd love to know what you think. And speaking of theories, let's pivot to what could happen if Chenal actually got more snaps. What kind of difference could he make as the Chiefs gear up for the playoffs? Let's dive in. Imagine this, it's the playoffs, and the Chiefs' defense is firing on all cylinders. Now picture Leo Chenal playing a bigger role in making that happen. Sounds good, right? Well, it's not just a dream, it's a real possibility. Chenal is one of the most athletic defenders on the roster, and his playmaking ability is undeniable. Whether it's stuffing the run, dropping back in coverage, or making game-changing plays like that blocked field goal against the Broncos, the guy just delivers. With Patrick Mahomes dealing with an injury, the pressure on the defense has never been higher. This is where Chenal can make an even bigger impact. Here's an idea. Why not use him more in creative packages? Spongewallow could tap into his versatility to confuse offenses and keep them guessing. Plus, having a fresh and explosive player like Chenal on the field could help shore up areas where the defense has struggled in recent weeks. So, let me ask you, if you were in Spags' shoes, how would you use Chenal? More on blitzes, in coverage, share your thoughts in the comments. Next up, let's wrap this up and talk about what this means for the Chiefs moving forward. So, what's the verdict? Leo Chenal has proven he's a game changer, and giving him more snaps seems like a no-brainer. With the playoffs just around the corner, the Chiefs can't afford to leave this kind of talent on the bench, whether it's creating turnovers, blocking key plays, or simply energizing the defense. Chenal has earned his shot. But now, it's your turn. Do you think we'll see more of him in the postseason? Or will the coaching staff stick with the current rotation? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget, if you're as fired up about this as I am, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with fellow Chiefs fans. Let's keep this conversation going as we cheer the team on to another Super Bowl run. Go Chiefs!